My name is Simon. I'm here today to talk about search agents. We'll be going over what a search agent is, what to include as components in your search plugin, what search categories are, and how you should build your own search agent. So, what's a search agent? A search agent in Xprotect is a way to integrate your external search engine or algorithm into a smart client. So you run your external search engine or external search algorithm separately, and then you can view the results in the UI. You can start from the UI. And your selected results that you choose can be used for reporting, exporting, bookmarking, or various custom actions that you define. Allow me to demonstrate very quickly. We have a sample plugin. It's worth noting, as with all of our samples, this does not actually perform a real search. It will give you completely fake search results, so that the points in time that it claims to have found will correspond to actually absolutely nothing. But an example here is I can search for people and say I want to find a bunch of people with umbrellas or purses. And then it'll claim to have found here a person with a purse and a person with an umbrella, and I can select that result, and you'll notice that I have a results view down here with a bunch of stuff I can do. I can export the view, I can bookmark it, I can do all sorts of stuff with this result. That's the essence of how a search agent is used inside the smart client. So what's actually going on here? What is a search agent? The thing is, you define a completely custom search algorithm, which is completely separate from the smart client plugin, but then you call that from the plugin using custom search filters, and potentially you can do custom appearance of how the search results are shown. And again, you can also do custom actions on search results as you want, and show custom details. If I switch back to the smart client, you'll notice that once I select a view here, I get a preview and some details. And those details can be a custom user control that you defined if you want it. Again, like all plugins, a search plugin uses the plugin definition as the main entry point. Inside there, you need to define one or more of these three properties. Either search agent plugins, search user controls plugins, or search toolbar plugins. The search agent plugin is not optional if you want to create a custom plugin, a custom search agent plugin. Obviously, because that is where you will actually be using your custom search algorithm that does the actual search. So the search agent plugin is your main entry point for how to get into your search engine, and creates a search definition, which is an entry point for the actual search algorithm. That must be inherited in any search agent. Categories and filters are a little complex. The category defines a number of potential filters. So for instance, the search category for our custom plugin that I showed just a moment ago defines person with up to 4 separate filters, which is purse, umbrella, and whatever else was there. I don't even remember. But you can see them here. Purse, umbrella, cane, or glasses are the ones we define. And those are custom filters that you can add to your search category. But the search category is basically just the definition of what category of item are we looking for and how can we filter based on that category. So main categories that are built in are persons and vehicles. There's a third category you can choose, which is the other. So once you define your own search category with filters, you define it as either a person, a vehicle, or other. And an example of other is also provided in our sample. So instead of searching for people, I could search for animals. And then I can define my search using these filters. I can say I only want animals eating, and I only want giraffes. And it'll find for me an animal. And again, if I show it over here, you can see the details and then the actions that I can choose. So, the other category is the basis for custom categories that can be anything. But we do recommend, when relevant, you use the built-in categories persons and vehicles, if at all possible. So, how do you build your own search agent? You start from the MIP search template. As with all of our templates, the MIP search template is provided as part of our Visual Studio extension called MIP templates. Once you have created a new project, let me demonstrate that actually. Once you've created a new project using the MIP search template. So if I create a new project here, and I say I want to use MIP template, specifically I want MIP search, because that's the one you'll be using for search plugins. So, once I have created a project here, let's call it doesn't matter, you can call it anything. Once I've created my project, you'll notice that it comes with a plugin def, which loads it in the smart client because that's what you need. You'll notice that it has a plugin definition, and if we just run rebuild solution, all of these red squiggles will go away. You'll notice it defines custom search agent plugins, search user controls, and search toolbar plugins. And I can show you in the demo, or sorry, in the sample, what those are used for. Your search agent plugin class must be given a unique search agent ID. So if we go back here, you'll notice that under search agent, it defines a search agent plugin. And this squid is of course one generated by the template. If you want to use a specific GUID for it, you could do that. And then that returns the specific search definition. You create your category in your init method, and then you essentially just develop your custom search algorithm and plug that in to the search definition class's search method. So, search agent worker threads. Search is executed on an isolated, unattended worker thread. Search results must be returned using the search results ready event. If there are any errors while you're executing your search, you have to catch those and pass them on as error occurred events. That way they will show up correctly in the UI. The search algorithm itself shouldn't interact with the UI in any way. If you can't avoid that, you should use events or similar asynchronous communication, because it's run on a completely separate thread that does not have access to the UI thread directly. The search algorithm should also check the cancellation token regularly and abort if requested. If you do need to return your search results more than once or gradually as your search progresses, you can do that by throwing or sending the search results ready event multiple times. So let's talk a little more about search agent filters. Filters allow you to add custom filtering of any kind, essentially, on your search filter category. So you can build your own by creating any class that extends search filter. You can see examples both in the documentation and in the sample. The value of a given search filter set in the running search can be retrieved with the search criteria get filter value method. And the filter configuration will also determine what elements are shown as filtering elements in the search UI when your search agent is selected. Search results are represented as search result data instances. Search result data are passed on as an IEnumerable in your search results ready event. It's important to point out that each search result data will have an ID, and that must be reproducible. That is, any search result data produced by the algorithm based on the same underlying recording should produce the same search result data ID as a GUID. And as I said before, you can return search result data in chunks if you raise the search results ready event multiple times as you move along. You can also customize the search result UI. So the way results are shown, for instance, if we go back to showing the sample here, this is a custom result UI that we've created, and you can create your own to show your results in whatever way you want. These are custom user control that you add to the search result user control types property in your plugin definition. And then the search result data item that you returned in your search result ready event must specify the corresponding ID of the user control type that it wants to use if it wants to use a custom one. And the custom control must extend the search result user control class in order for us to be able to interact with it. You can also do custom search result actions, so you can do a custom action that'll be defined. So for instance, you can say I want to add this to a specific database that is external to the Xprotect system. You could do that as an action, whatever else you might need. And those are put in the search toolbar plugins property and will show up here. So here's one that says exported here it is, add to the export list. But if you go down here, you can see register animals. That's a custom action that we've added to the toolbar. And this doesn't actually, again, this isn't hooked up to anything, so it doesn't actually do anything. But you could do whatever you needed to inside that action. There's some documentation available where you can learn more about search agents. There's a sample. If we click that, you can see here the sample documentation. And the sample is downloaded from our GitHub repository, the same as all other samples. And there's also specific search integration documentation, which you can find simply by searching for search agents in the plugin integration documentation on our doc developer milestonesys.com homepage. I think that is all I needed to say about this. So thank you.